today's interview, I brought on Jeremiah Bruhn. Jeremiah, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I've actually, he goes by Miah, and Miah, I've known
Mm.
you, I don't even know how long, like I feel nearly a decade.
Decade. I think we met at a flip cup tournament.
Yeah, probably back in my 20 glory days.
Yeah. Back when we were a little crazier.
Yeah, wild, definitely. So give the listeners a little background. Where are you from and what do you do?
I am from Gillette, Wyoming. I moved back home to Gillette, Wyoming after about 17 years in Denver, Colorado, and right now I am a freelance artist.
And that's what I love. And I definitely want to get into your art. But before we get there, I'd love for you to share some backstory, some life experiences, what you've been through, your own rock bottom, which
Mm.
brought you to this expression of art.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, I lived in Denver for about 17 years, and I was a recruiter in Denver, and I lived a lifestyle of living in the moment. I've traveled the world. I've ran with the bulls in Spain. I've sailed the Mediterranean. I've gone to biker rallies in Mexico. Just always living in the moment type thing, but while always keeping a professional career. And I had over the course of a couple of years, so the previous almost 3 years, up until this previous January, I had started working from home as a recruiter, and uh, I did not realize this, but working from home and not having the responsibilities to go and see my coworkers, interact with them on a face-to-face level, slowly led to me not taking care of myself, not taking care of myself physically, my appearance, my mental health, and over the course of those 2 years, led to a pretty deep, dark depression. And um, let's see, COVID hit January 19th, I believe. Yeah, it was January 19th of this year, hit the United States. I was laid off on January 22nd or 23rd. And from then my depression really sunk in. And I had stopped working out. Fitness has always been a very important thing to me. And I had almost lost my life due to this depression. I tried to swallow, or I did swallow, a bottle of sleeping pills, and luckily that did not work. And that was my rock bottom moment. And no, I realized at that moment I needed to take better care of myself. I moved back home. My father and my sister came down and got me. My family is super important to me, and I started learning how to take care of myself.
Well, and you touched on a couple things that I want to bring up. Number one is that, suicide is something that isn't talked about openly. And we talked previously before we started recording, and something I've never talked about. But, I want people to know, number one, don't be ashamed of it. A lot of times, if you're in a dark space, people don't want to reach out for help. They don't want to, maybe you feel ashamed, or whatever your feelings may be. And I know what it's like to be in a dark space. I have not actually committed to ODing or taking pills or using weapons or whatever, but I have definitely had, which I shared with you, thoughts of, I live in the mountains, I live in Colorado. So if I was going fast enough around a bend, if I just, fell down the cliff, nobody would know, but at least I could go. Or I remember in 8th grade having thoughts of, it was a tough time moving from my hometown, and thoughts of hanging myself. And so over the years, I've had some dark times, and I've never actually committed to doing it. But when you're in the moment, I remember it's very scary. But to be to that point of writing the email or writing a note, or I remember thinking about, deleting my social account so people couldn't post. I mean, these are real thoughts. And what
Yeah.
I want to tie that to is the working from home, the isolation, because that's what globally is going on right now. And especially, I live by myself. So my only outlet is to go to the gym. And it
Mm-hmm.
does get very lonely, and you do spend a lot of time in your thoughts. And so I just think it's timely, if somebody is feeling in this dark space and maybe have suicidal thoughts or feel like they've hit rock bottom, what advice can you give them since you've been there to be like, hey, don't do it?
Uh, do as much as you can to get outside, be around people, see other people. Like for myself, I stopped working out and I started growing this shitty ass beard. Like I just stopped taking care of myself. And because I didn't have to see anybody, there'd be weeks at times where I didn't have to leave my place because groceries got delivered. Force yourself to go outside. Force yourself to be face to face with other people. Whether it's to the gym, the grocery store, running around a park, getting that vitamin D. Like just
Yes.
get outside, get out of your norm. Even if it's just a walk around your block, you may see somebody and you don't want to look like shit when you see somebody. So take care of yourself, shave that shitty beard, put on makeup or whatever. Just go, like, try to see other people. That's my number one advice. I was and I still am a very people oriented person. I need action. I need to be around others. I need to communicate. And having that taken away from me over the course of those years, a couple of years, was it affected me in more ways than I could even realize.
So what could we say to people right now? And I 100% agree. It is easy as a female to get comfortable in yoga pants, to not shower, put on your face, do your hair and makeup. And there's are some days I'll relax and be comfy, but most of the time I do my best to stay structured, get up, go to the gym, get those endorphins, feel good, look good in the mirror. And then I come home, shower, and do my hair and makeup because it makes me feel good. Even if I'm not going anywhere, it makes me feel better. But if we're in a shutdown or we're in another lockdown and you can't, quote, go out and meet your friends or go to restaurants and you're over Zoom calls, what do you do?
FaceTime, say talk on the phone. I'm in a lot of group messages with with my friends, separate ones. So for me, when I was getting depressed, I stopped replying to a lot of these group messages, and they would know that's something's going on. Something's wrong with them, and they check in. Like to try to get in those types of group messages and be active with them. Positivity breeds positivity. And if you guys are, whether it's jokes, memes, whatever the hell you're talking about, just interact, that interaction. Okay. And if you drop off, they'll know. And also just to keep a healthy mind, like what I just said, positivity breeds positivity. Like immerse yourself in, and I guess like say positive shows or positive music. So when I first got out of my depression, I started seeing a therapist. I watched Parks and Recreation. I watched all the seasons, and like it was such a positive show. Everybody's so nice on the damn show. I cried when April first kissed whatever his name. Like it was, and it made me feel good. And I guess that's another little snippet of advice is watch positive stuff.
100%. And what I'm hearing from you is number one, stay connected. And something that helps me, I'm a part of a weekly mastermind group. And so there are 3 of us, and we've now done this for like 2 years, but we're all entrepreneurs. We talk every week to help stay focused and stay on track. So whether it is friends or neighbors or family or coworkers, whatever, have some sort of check-in or a weekly challenge or, something to keep your focus positive. And like you said, you have to be cognizant of what you're bringing in. So I haven't watched the news in years. That's just a personal choice of mine. But it's, reading good books, listening to podcasts, watching amazing stuff on YouTube. There are so many free resources. So I guess my advice would be there's no excuses. It's a choice what you're choosing to let in.
Exactly, and challenge yourself. So I bought a ukulele a couple of weeks ago, and I'm learning how to play ukulele. I suck really bad at it, but I'm trying to learn. And at some point, I'll be around a bonfire at a beach playing it. Learn a new technique. Learn yoga, whatever on YouTube. Like just try to challenge yourself with new creative ways, and you may fail. chances are you probably will fail that first time, but you
Yeah.
tried, and you have to be happy and proud of yourself that you tried that. And then, hey, let's do it again. Gonna get a little better. And that's a small win, and small wins matter. Just incrementally get better each time and find out what works for you.
What you're kind of tapping into, what you shared with me, are avenues of healing. So I would love
Yep.
to share what has worked for you over these past many months of your own journey, and what would you give advice to others?
Yeah. So when I getting out of my depression, I started seeing a therapist, and I think it was in our um, second conversation. She recommended that I try doing art, and so that night I went to Hobby Lobby and grabbed some art stuff, and found out I really enjoyed it. It was a form of therapy for me. It slowed my brain down, and I had to figure out how to transfer a vision onto a paper or onto a canvas. And so art's been number one for me. I've now a full-time commissioned artist. I've got commissions through March of this next year. I've sold, I think, close to 50 paintings this year. And so I'm very, very happy about that. Another one is taking care of yourself, overall fitness, whether it's yoga. I've started learning jujitsu. I had a 2-hour jujitsu training course this morning. But taking care of yourself physically.
Mm-hmm.
A healthy body leads to a healthy mind, in my belief. I also started journaling, and I've got this man journal where it's just daily affirmations and goals and what you're grateful for. Let's see right
Time
here.
out. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
never heard of this. The man journal. It's a real thing.
Yeah, the man journal. It's good vibes, and it has a man quote uh, at the beginning of every day. Either you run the day or the day runs
They
you.
run
There's a
you.
quote, and you can see it. 3 things I'm grateful for, what would make today awesome, and daily affirmation. So I am creative, I am powerful, I am motivated, I am loving, I am caring. I also put in there I get to. So instead of I have to, or I have to go do this, I get to do this. And I think that's huge in today's day and age with this COVID, that I get to work today. A lot of people are out of work. I get to work today. I get to make money today. And then at the end, that's 3 awesome things that happened to you today, and how could I have made today even more awesome? So yeah, man journal.
That's amazing. Good for you. So what I am hearing is that you have implemented new practices and you changed your focus, and affirmations
Mhm.
are super powerful, but ultimately it's this physical mental wellness, because you have to have,
Exactly.
if you're into Dr. Joe Dispenza, who I freaking love, I'm actually leaving this weekend to go on a week retreat with him, but he talks about the brain heart coherence, because
Mhm.
if you have everything up here and you're living in high stress and analytical mind, and you're not connecting to your heart space and your energy and your emotions, and when you
Mhm.
can connect the two, and maybe that's what you found through art, amazing things happen. And I've seen some of your art. It's amazing stuff. But you shared
I
with
appreciate
me, art is something that you've been passionate about for years, but you, quote, never found the time to do it. Tell me about
it.
that.
Yeah, it's I won't say passionate. Like, I've always had a curiosity. I've always wanted to try it. I've always wanted to go
Okay.
to Hobby Lobby and buy a canvas. I feel like I've always had an eye for things that look cool or abstract or unique. But I've never taken that step over the course of 17, 20 some odd years. And the reason of that being is, well, I was taking care of myself, say physically. I was working hard, traveling a lot, and really spending a lot of time with friends.
Yeah.
I believe friends are family. And so being there for them, or showing up to events. And I think, with our friend group, there are a lot of events, too many events. And so I put a lot of emphasis on those. I guess on those type of events and on other people, because I wanted to be there for them, show them that I cared. And so that put, I guess, my curiosity on things, my creativity side, put that out on the back burner.
Yeah. Would you consider this creativity and curiosity part of your self-care, or simply a hobby and interest in an outlet?
Oh no, this is definitely self-care. This is
Okay.
definitely self-care.
So do you think you got so busy in work and travel and wanting to experience and be there for others that you never filled up your own cup?
Oh, exactly, exactly.
Okay.
And I didn't know that I had a cup. I thought I was doing well, taking care of myself. Um, and now I realize I have a cup, and to fill that cup up, it takes a lot more than just one ingredient. So it takes a lot more than just art.
Yeah.
I've I've got a lot of different avenues of healing that are going into that cup.
Can you tell me what a day in the life of is like for you? Is it a morning routine, an evening routine, a midday? What are you doing?
So I'm a morning person. I'm waking up at 4:30, 4:45 every morning. I'm at the gym at 5. Like I said, today was 2 hours of jujitsu. Usually working out quite a bit, and then after that, I come straight to the studio and I start painting, or I start thinking about what I want to paint or design and stuff on my iPad. Do that for about 3 hours, and then I head home and I kind of decompress a little bit. So I've got 5 hours of my day right there of working out and art. Um, and go home, decompress, go volunteer. I mentor my nephew here in town and talked about that. I also volunteer a lot of my time here locally at the animal shelter and at the Yes House, which is children at risk or youth children at risk organization here in town. So trying to be a mentor there. Um, and honestly, I'll probably go to the gym again in the afternoon, or I'm painting again.
So what is it like mentoring these kids? And why is that your
It's
driver? Why do you love that?
so kids are our future, and I've learned this through uh, my self exploration of this year. I read the book The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt, and he talks about the rider and the elephant, and this has changed my entire view on a lot of things. And so we are predispositioned to be a certain way. There's certain things, whether it's OCD or whether we get we put on sock shoe, or sock shoe, or sock shoe shoe. It's There's certain things in our life that we're predispositioned for, and that's because of our experiences that we've had from, say, our family. And I'll give the perfect example. My mother's my rock. She's always had my back. Um, I could do I could travel if I get in trouble, if I run out of money, like she's got me. This has allowed me to let she's my safety net. Now I could take more risks in life. Okay. I could be more creative and know that she will always have me. Um, I've got the safety net with her. There's people within my family that are business owners. And I fully believe that they're business owners because they kind of had a little harder time growing up. They've had to fend for themselves at an earlier age. And so now they're fending or providing for a family. And this is their reactions to these experiences of them growing up. So that is their elephant, okay? What they're directed on. Um, with the writer, you can try to direct your elephant one way or another, learn a new technique, and your elephant may veer off path a little bit, but for the most part, your elephant's going to be on this path. What I want to do with kids, or what I have been doing with kids, is trying to give them as many positive experiences in life so that their elephant, so when they grow up and when they're adult, their elephant is on a good, healthy path. They don't turn into assholes. They're not stealing. Um, they're taking care of other people. They're caring, and I just want to show, especially with the Yes House here in town, show them that people do care about them. Just because you've been dealt a bad hand doesn't mean that's going to be your hand for the rest of your life. People care about you, and people are going to be there for you, and you can count on people. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I say we're going to go do something, we're going to go do it.
That's amazing that they have a mentor like you in their life. I guess it's something that you brought up about this elephant and the writing example. A lot of, I guess, what I learn as more of conditioning from our environment.
Mhm.
And so a lot of people
That's a better way
fall,
to say that.
okay, a lot of people fall into the victimhood, right? Life is happening to me. I'm never going to get ahead. Life sucks. It's hard. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well, that's one way to look at that. And our elephant is created when we're kids, and so that's why I try to,
Yeah.
volunteer a lot of my time with kids. That's how our elephant is created. Um, what I've been trying to help them realize, and I do this with myself on a daily basis, is look for the silver lining in everything. Look for the positivity in everything. Something shitty could happen to you. I've had some things happen this year that are pretty shitty, but I've looked at the positive of it. Okay, like okay, now I don't need to dedicate my time to this person. I have more free time. Um, I can work out more and I paint more. Okay, there's a silver lining. Even if it's a small silver lining, you have to focus on that positivity. And so
Yes.
that's the reaction to circumstances. So, say, I mean, here in this town, there's a real bad meth problem, and so a lot of parents are ODing on meth, and I'm trying to help these kids realize, like, hey, like this is going to give you another opportunity. Okay, let's look at the positive of this. You got to meet me, and I'm going to teach you some cool shit. Like that's positivity. So,
But that takes training, right? That's what I call building the mindset muscle. It's choosing to focus or change your perspective. And
mhm.
that's huge. And it takes a little training, but then once you do it, it's like, man, it just feels so much better, right?
Oh, so much happy. In one of your podcasts with Jordan Benjamin, he had mentioned your mind is a muscle, and you had keyed in on that. And I love that saying. Your mind is a muscle. You're not going to be able to bench 300 pounds right away. You got to grow that up, grow your chest up, get stronger. Your mind, you're not going to just wake up one day and be all rosy and uh, positive, like put out all these positive vibes. It takes time. You're gonna struggle with it, but the consistency is key. I think they say
Mhm.
21. It takes 21 days to create a habit and 90 days for it to lock in. If you're working on that with this journal is a 90-day journal, and it's trying to create that habit. So really work on it. Work on the mindset uh, of that positivity is what I like to say.
So, question for you, because this is something I've done for years, and even I have
Mhm.
bad days, but my bad days are, they don't linger for weeks or months anymore. But I do, I fall off track, and it's like, man, shit, I had a bad moment, or I went down the rabbit hole. What are you doing when you catch yourself in a bad moment, a bad day, whatever, to be like, to maybe feel it and release it so it doesn't ruin tomorrow?
I'm very adept at not dwelling on things, and I think this goes back to my mother. Like she's my rock, so like I don't have to have a whole lot of worries um, when bad things do happen. But say if I'm not creative this day, or if I haven't figured out this painting that I've been working on for a couple months, I go work it out, or I look at the positivity of it's always going back to the positivity. Things like, hey, I was still trying to figure this out, and I figured out what didn't work. Okay, that's a silver line playbook. Okay, this did not work. I've got 9,000 layers on this canvas, and so I failed 9,000 times on this, but I will be figuring it out. Um, hard days do come, but and this goes back to journaling. You, being grateful, I get to do these things. Self
Mhm.
affirmation, I am loving, or I am caring, or I am driven, and I get to do this. That self affirmation has done a lot for me.
Yeah, that's what I call an attitude of gratitude. And even,
There you go.
if you're feeling lack and scarcity, you don't have enough money. But then if you stop and look around at all the things you have, maybe all the clothes you have, all the shoes that money bought, and you go,
Mhm.
damn, look at all the things I do have. Totally
Exactly.
changes your energy and focus. Something I want to touch on there, which you brought up, is you thought maybe part of the reason you didn't get into painting years ago because you were busy doing all the other
Yeah.
things. You also had like an underlying fear of failure, but now
Yes.
you've stepped into whatever. I failed 9,000 times, but I figured it out. So how did you go from, because that's what holds a lot of people back, right? Fear of failure
Mhm.
or not achieving or being told no, and you were able to go and do it anyway, and that you would figure it out.
So I've learned to really like failing now. And
Wow.
the reason of that is because I tried something. Okay, I did that. I put myself out there. I failed, but I'm happy that I tried. So live life with no regrets.
Mm.
I would rather fail at something than regret not trying it. And I've realized that over the course of this last year. Um, Jiu-jitsu has helped a lot with this because you get humbled a lot in jiu-jitsu. You get your ass choked out a lot in jiu-jitsu, but you're trying. Okay, you're failing, you're getting choked out, but you're trying. And I really focus on that. Like I enjoy failing because that means I've tried something.
So what advice would you give to somebody to shift their perspective and be like, maybe they're afraid to sign up for a 5K because they don't think they can run 3 miles, or they're afraid to start painting because they don't think they're good at drawing, or afraid to bake in the kitchen because they suck in the kitchen, whatever their excuse or beliefs may be. What would you tell them to, hey, try it anyway, to have this carefree of experience it anyway?
Exactly. So I like saying this. I say this all the small wins matter. So say you want to try painting. First step, going to Hobby Lobby or going to your local art store and buying some colored pencils, taking them home. Okay, and then now you're scared. You don't want to fail at it. Hey, realize that small win was you got in your car and you went to Hobby Lobby and you did that. That's a small win. Jot that, like write that down. Self-affirmation. Then the next morning you look at it. I did go do that. Okay, let's pull out this black pencil and let's draw a circle, something like that. That's a small win. And small wins do matter. I like to say it's marbles. You put marbles into a jar, you put marbles into a bag. Each one of those marbles is a small win. Now all of a sudden you've got this huge ass jar of marbles. Okay, and that means you've done all those small wins, and that's going to lead to something great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's what I say. Also, what's really helped me, I have a very curious mind. And so if I'm curious about something, I write it down on, say, a whiteboard. Say you want to start painting or you want to start furniture restoration and you want to learn how to play ukulele, whatever it is, write that down on a whiteboard. And you go in and you try it. Or you write down the small win that happened when you attempted to try that. Write that on the whiteboard. And so you see that every day. Check mark it. When you do get, I guess, another milestone on there.
I love
but don't
that.
be afraid.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to fail. Failing is like embrace failure. Failing is good. That means you've tried something.
You know what? And this is something I've thought about for a while because I think failure has so much stigma, right? And like, how could we come up with a new word that isn't failure? It's like trying something new, not being curious, but maybe it didn't go as planned. Like, what could be a new, better word? I know, way to put you on the spot, but
yeah, I mean, you can also, you don't have to use failure. I've embraced the word failure. Yeah, I've attempted, or I did that. I tried this.
See, now try is hard because try is either like you did or you didn't. But I think attempting, I'm going to attempt. Yeah. Okay, I'll be honest. I got to share something with you.
Okay.
Singing is something I royally suck at. Like I am bad. Yeah, but I have such a desire. I wish I could just like walk around my house or jam music and just belt out. And I've looked into getting singing lessons, and I've talked about this for a couple of years now, and I haven't done it. So maybe this is the final spark to like, I just want to be able to sing.
So my question to you, so what are the small steps? So before singing lessons, what are some small steps that you could take pre-singing lessons to help build that self-confidence?
I mean, I know I suck and I still sing.
Yeah. So I guess in my mind, what automatically comes to my head is one, YouTubing singing lessons, but then also getting, isn't there something that measures your pitch to see if you're on pitch, your voice, like a mechanical something? There has to be. I think Mariah Carey uses it. But get one of those and now take the singing lessons on YouTube with that pitch machine and try to match that. And so those are small wins right there. I think abstractly about it. Okay, now you're going to build that confidence right there before you go in front of somebody else.
I think in the end, where there's a will, there's a way. And I truly
Absolutely.
I believe that you don't have to be a born singer, that you can learn new skills.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm with you on that. I've tried to learn piano for the past 15 years and it's not going well.
But you keep attempting, so good for you.
Yeah, I attempt for about an hour every year or so.
Well, maybe this next year you'll try, once a week or once a month. So step it up.
I like that. Well, that's why I bought the ukulele. I'm
Good.
gonna make it smaller and try to work it that way.
Question for you. What is one key takeaway you want listeners to get from our conversation?
The number one, I guess, is, and we had talked about the creativity thing, but I'm shifting it a little bit. Number one is to look at the positivity of everything. Look at the silver lining of things, even if it's super hard. Like there is a lining, even if it's a small silver lining, a small positivity in something. Um, that's a small win. Okay, so look at that, and then number two is everything can be creative. There's so much creativity out there. We had discussed, say, even cooking can be creative. Trying out new spices, uh, attempt something. Be okay with failure. Like failing is good. It means you tried. Like
Yes.
failing is not bad. It means you tried. And put yourself out there. Try to do something creative. If you succeed, keep going with it. Okay. If you fail, maybe try again or pick up the next thing. Um, it's done so much for me in my mental health and my outlook on life, and I guess it's my motivation overall. And I can't say it enough. Creativity is a very very key glass filler for my mental health.
Awesome. I love that. Okay, I have a few rapid fire questions for you to wrap up the interview.
Okay.
First one being, what is a quote or motto that you live by?
I've got it tattooed. I've got a couple of them tattooed on me. Every man dies, not every man truly lives.
That, you know what that reminds me of? Have you seen the meme about YOLO? And it's like, no, you don't. You live every day. You only die once.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. So when we were younger, say early 20s, YOLO, I had YOLO of missing out on things, of missing out on activities with friends, group parties, whatever it may not be. Now I have YOLO that I'm not going to be able to listen to all the podcasts throughout the week because I don't have enough time, or that I'm not going to be able to watch some documentaries that I want, or I'm not going to be able to do this because I'm running out of time. Like those are my YOLO moments now, later on in life.
So your FOMO has changed.
Oh yeah, YOLO and FOMO. I mess those up. My FOMO has changed.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Because I used to like, man, if I don't go out on Friday night, what am I missing? And then I go out on Fridays and I'm like, I'd rather be home
Exactly. Exactly.
watching something that makes me feel good.
Exactly.
Oh,
There you
I
go.
get it. Okay. What is a book you're currently reading or highly recommend?
I'm reading or I'm listening because I can read. It's just I like to be active while I'm listening to stuff. The David Goggins book,
Can't
Can't
Hurt
Kill
Me.
Me. Yeah, Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
Listening to that. And then I've got Jonathan Haidt's, another one of Jonathan Haidt's books lined up after that.
Awesome. All right. This is a good one. And I'm excited to ask you, what is a advice you would give your younger self?
Mm. Start painting, start doing art younger. I feel like I've missed 20 plus years of doing art, and so that's why I'm trying to catch up. I wonder where I'd be as an artist now at the ripe age of 36. uh yeah, just don't be afraid to do that. Like take time for yourself. Yeah, use your creativity, and that's what I'd say to my younger self.
My only advice to you is do not regret the years that you coulda, woulda, shoulda,
Exactly.
because then you're going to piss on right now. And so you weren't ready then, right? Maybe this creativity has balled up and simmered for you for all these years. So now you can just like explode in the amazing things that you're doing. So trust you started right when you were meant to.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that. I like that mindset. That's that positivity shit that we're talking about. I like it.
Yes. Miah, thank you
Awesome.
so much for joining me.
Hey, thanks, Heather. I really appreciate it.